What's up, y'all? It's my normal time of night. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and we got another ginger for y'all. This time, we got Travis McMichael, along with his father, Gregory McMichael. Now, and their neighbor. Now, if you guys don't remember this story, this was back in COVID around 2020, I want to say. Travis McMichael and his father chased this guy down, thinking he was stealing some shit, whatever. They end up shooting him and low-key hitting him with his car and all types of crazy shit. Let's break down Travis's first testimony. Let's do this.
He stopped and turned and went backwards. That was the first time. That was the one caught on Mr. Roddy's or Mr. Brian's video.
Okay, before we even get any further, they also recorded it like some dumbasses. Now, these folks probably would have got away with this whole situation, but their neighbor records it. So when he said, when Mr. Blah blah recorded it, I know he's thinking in his head, like, this idiot is the whole reason that we're here in the first place. But let us continue.
Was turn out to be the first qualification.
This is going to be a good one, y'all.
You pull up next to him, he stops, and then he turns and starts running this way. Back down Burford towards Satilla.
Yes,
And then you back up. Is that right?
I did.
So you back up the truck to follow him, and at some point in time, what do you say to him at that point?
I'm asking him, what are you doing? You know, what's going on? What happened down there? Why is there some? You know, I ask him why there's somebody pointing down the road. As I'm talking, that's when he turns and runs back down Burford.
Now, this whole thing sounds really sketchy, and she's going to point it out in a second here. There was options to leave. Why would he turn around and go back toward the people who are chasing him? Unless you had a sort of lethal weapon on you. But let's get deeper into this before I keep talking.
So now you're asking him, hey, why is somebody pointing down the road? That's what you're asking him?
That's what I was trying to get to. To ask him why there are people pointing down the road.
All right, Mr. McMichael. Not asking for generalities and what's in your head. I want to know exactly what you were saying to the man jogging down the street. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. What exactly did you say to him?
This lady is a powerhouse, too. Don't fuck with her. Her name is Linda. Her last name is a little, I can't remember her last name. But, ooh, I would not want to be in the seat with her examining me.
The first time you pulled up to him.
I want to talk to you.
And he turned and ran.
He stopped, turned, and then went the other direction.
He stopped, turned, and went the other direction. Now, keep in mind, when he's running away, the way to leave is forward. So there would have to be something serious for him to turn around, right, and go back into the community.
And that was an indication to you that he didn't want to talk to you.
Yes.
That was an indication he was not going to stop for you.
Yes.
Okay. And at that point in time, you chose to put your truck in reverse and back up at him.
Back up along with him.
So he's trying to get away from you, doesn't want to stop.
I like how she said, yeah, so you tried to back your truck up at him. He was like, hold on now. That's probably exactly what he was doing. But he was like, damn, lady, you're coming at me kind of aggressive here.
Stop, doesn't want to talk, and you're backing up to go along with him.
That's correct.
And at some point in time then, he turns to run up Burford, right?
Yes, I've asked him again, or asked him that I wanted to talk to him. I don't know exactly what I said, but it was to the effect that I want to talk to him and what happened down the road.
So you're just the police out here. You're a goddamn marshal. You're a sheriff. Keeping the law. Crazy, bro. I know he's sweating right now.
And at this point in time, you're not wearing any sort of uniform.
No, ma'am.
You're not in a marked patrol car.
I'm not.
You don't have any badges on your sleeve.
Bro, that's crazy. What did I just tell you? He's feeling like the law right now. The second I say that, she goes and says, you're not in a uniform. You're not in a marked car. Bro.
And when you told the police, you were talking to them about Do you remember telling the police? So I pull up to him and say, hey, you know what's going on. He's running. He won't stop. I said, that's him. Stop right there. I'm at the top. I'm at the bottom of page 8, top of page 9.
That Baldy up there, man. That Baldy is looking crazy. Look at that shit. When you have the shine, that's when you know it's time to let it go. Sometimes it looks kind of cool with that little half bald, half, hair situation. But once you start getting that shine, dog, it's time to go ahead and take it on off, bro.
Stop right there. Stop where you're at. Do you remember telling the police that that's what you said?
Bro, it's on the
This is what's
transcript.
on here, yes, ma'am. You want me to read it?
I'm just asking you if that's what you said. You said, what's going on? He won't stop. I said, that's him. Stop right there. Stop where you're at.
Stop right there. Stop where you're at. That's a call of authority. And he's trying to be Mr. Policeman. Since Pops used to be a sheriff or a police officer or whatever the hell, he feels like he's the guy. Say yes, bro. It's
Yeah,
written.
that's part of it.
So at this point, you're ordering him to stop.
Exactly. Man, I'm a prosecutor. I'm saying all the questions she's saying. I swear I didn't watch this ahead of time. She's like, and you ordered him to stop. What is she getting at? Law enforcement.
Is that correct?
I wouldn't say ordering. I was asking him.
I was asking him. Okay, cool. Let's go with that.
Like nicely and politely, please, sir, stop.
At first, it was not police or servant. Hey, could you stop? Please, yes, stop for a second. Stop for a second. My voice inflection and tone, I was trying to keep the situation calm.
No, you were. You were trying to fucking run down a black guy. I don't know. Bro, yeah, I think he was. He just looks like the guy who'll drop the N-word in the fucking in the Call of Duty chat. Like, come on now.
He's already decided that he doesn't want anything to do with you and has run back down Burford towards Satilla.
Yes.
All right. And then we see what happens in the night owl video. Is that right? Is that what happens next?
Brian.
He is bewildered. he is looking into the lights of the car. He's the deer in the light, dog. He is so like he doesn't even know how to answer because he knows anything he says could fuck him up and send him to jail. And he knows that he's so guilty that even the best lawyer is going to have a tough time keeping him out of jail.
Yes, it's around that time.
All right, so at this point, right here, where he's running, you're still yelling at him, stop, I want to talk to you, stop.
No, ma'am. Once I watched him run and then pull onside him again is when I engaged with him again.
All right, so we're talking about going all the way down Burford.
No, ma'am. It was only another 100 feet from there, maybe 200 feet. There was a wooded area right where I spoke to him again.
All right, so let's take a look at this,
May I?
which
May you what?
we have the right exhibit number.
What a bitch, bro. This guy has no balls. He's so scared. If I knew I did that crime and I was like, hold on. If I knew I did that, right, and I knew my family was reputable in the area, I get me a good lawyer, I'm going to be confident in that bitch. Like, you can't be in there sweating, bro. Like, obviously, I'm not in the hot seat, so I don't know how it really, really feels. It's probably terrifying, but you can't put that face off. This dude looks guilty, bro. Just, like, simple.
So what we're looking at here
Looking
on
down,
104
shifting
is
around.
going to be State's Exhibit 300. So taking a look at the blown up board of State's Exhibit 300,
Like, there's something that can't be found.
I'm going to go ahead and publish it up there so that we can go ahead and see it.
I said, he's running, he won't stop. I said, that's him. Stop right there. Stop where you're at. Call the cops, And I'm assuming, or what I'm saying there is I told him that I called the cops.
I called the cops,
There he is. He starts acting funny, and then he takes off running. So he was stopped. If he takes off running, then he was stopped at the point.
Do you remember yesterday telling this jury that that's what you said to your dad? Call the cops, there he is? Do you remember telling this jury just yesterday that was what you said to your dad? Call the cops. There he is. He starts acting funny. He takes off running.
I believe I said, have you called the cops yet? And then on this here is what I mentioned to the police in the interview. And reading this and knowing how I was all over the place when I was giving that statement, this is what I was talking about.
Yeah, he's gonna blame his consistencies up because he was all shook up, and I mean that's valid, that's valid. But everything he's saying is bullshit.
This is what I believe is what I was talking about.
But you'd agree, nowhere in here do you say that Mr. Arbery actually stopped. You said, stop right there, stop right where you're at, and he takes off running.
He takes off running.
Mm-hmm. So nowhere in here do you indicate to Detective Nohilly that he stopped long enough for you to say, the police are on their way,
Stop.
and that's why he took off running. Nowhere in here and nowhere in your written statement is that indicated.
Oh, I see what he's trying to spin. I see her side, but I didn't see his play. His whole play is that he's going to say that he's so guilty, I chased him. He looks so guilty, I chased him. I said, stop. He stopped. And he heard me say, the police are coming. Then he runs like a guilty man. But in his original statement, it doesn't add up. He just told him stop, and he took off immediately. There's a big difference. And that type of a detail, you don't mess that detail up.
In those terms, saying it in that verbatim, I did not. But looking at this and how I was still under stress, still under the impact of what happened a couple hours after this, just 2 hours
That makes sense.
after the shooting, and then seeing how I was talking, under stress, nervous, scared, I know what I was talking about here, and that's what I was talking about.
He smiles every time he's trying to make you believe what he's saying. That's going to happen throughout the entire court proceeding. Whenever he's talking and he's trying to get you to believe what he's saying, his thing is that little smile. It's disgusting because he's not actually smiling. It's more of a tell. You'll see it all the time.
Call the cops, Stop where you're at, call the cops. I'm probably choppy trying to talk to him, being nervous and saying that
Being nervous.
This to Mr. Arbery.
See, being nervous, like the smile doesn't help. The smile makes you just look like a jackass, bro.
And then he takes off running. If you're running, he continued running. He takes off running. I think that's what I was talking about there.
So what were you nervous about while giving this statement?
I just killed a man. I had blood on me still. I was the most traumatic event of my life. I was scared to death.
Oh man, that was the most traumatic event of his life. But trust me, new things have topped that chart back in prison for this guy, I'm sure. You see how pudgy those cheeks are? How soft that skin probably is? They have him for lunch. He's a little Twinkie in prison. I promise you that. If he's not under protective custody.
Death. I mean, it was the most traumatic event of my life. I don't know anybody who wouldn't be scared or stressed or
Nervous.
terrified or
Nervous.
anything. I mean, it was horrible.
I'm talking about giving your statement 2 hours later at a police station. You were nervous because you thought you were going to jail, right?
No. I gave him a statement.
And she looks at him and smiles. I like her.
I mean, if I would have,
somebody, you don't think you're going to jail.
She's fiery.
That's what you're saying.
I was going through an investigation. I was following the investigation.
So, you saw Officer Duggan's body cam, correct? Officer Duggan, the first officer who testified, his body cam.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you were standing right behind Officer Duggan while all that went on, right?
Yeah, I guess, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, you've just shot Mr. Arbery 3 times with a shotgun, correct?
Correct.
3 times with a shotgun? Damn. When one put you down, were you shooting them with birdshot? What was going on in that situation?
He's dead on the scene, correct?
Correct.
He's unarmed, correct?
He was.
All right. And your father came up to you and grabbed you by the shoulders and went, you had no choice, right? You saw that?
Yes.
The second he did. Coaching time, you had no choice. Remember when you had no choice. Coaching time. Remember, this is what I did in the old days, son. When you murder a man, yeah, you tell him you had no choice because he had a gun on you. Yeah, Pops was on it. Pops was on it.
All right. You're covered in Mr. Arbery's blood. You go down to the police station, correct?
Correct.
All right. And at that point, you're in the safety of the police department giving your statement, correct?
Yes.
All right. You've got all the time in the world, correct?
Yes.
All right. And Detective Nohilly hasn't threatened you,
No,
hasn't forced you to make a statement.
he did not.
I don't like how she's pushing this whole drive that if he was nervous, he's somehow showing guilt. Because, I mean, I'd be nervous if I was 100%. Maybe it's because I'm black. Yeah, maybe. Because if I was 100% justified in killing somebody and I went to jail, I mean, not to jail, I went to the police station, obviously, and gave my statement, I'd be nervous. Hell yeah, I'd be nervous. And I would have my lawyer because I wouldn't be giving no statement without my lawyer. And I'd still be nervous, so.
And didn't promise you anything, nor to get you to make the statement.
Well,
Dude, stop looking at the he really thinks this transcript is gonna save him, bro. It's written down because you said it. So if she says that you said it, you can trust her. She studied this shit all night before. Before this piece, this little court proceeding, she's been studying this info back and front. She said it happened, it happened. Stop bullshitting. There he goes. Looking for some fucking looking for what yeah. No shit.
But you're telling this jury that you're all confused and you can't get the facts straight as you're telling the police about why it was you shot and killed a man.
I was trying with my best ability, but like I said, under the circumstances of going through a traumatic
You notice that smile, right? The smile's peeping out. It's seeping out.
event. This is the most traumatic event that I have ever been through in my life.
Looking at the jury, not looking at her.
I don't know how. I've never been through a situation like that, so the reaction, trying to go through and trying to be as factual and tell as detailed as I could, and then looking through the transcript being scattered as it was, I could tell that obviously I failed attempting to try as best I could. It just this is what you got. I tried, and this is what happened.
This is what you got. So I gotta be innocent, right? Oh man, he's an entitled prick. His whole life, I bet. Nah, let me not make assumptions. He's just an asshole. I can make that assumption about him.
So, fair to say you never told Detective Nohilly nor wrote down in your written statement that you told Mr. Arbery the police were on their way.
It seems that I attempted to say it in these words.
Smiling, cheesing. It
And
seems
at
like
that
I
point, Mr.
attempted
Arbery turns around and
cheesing on
runs
us.
back down Burford to get away from you, correct?
That's correct.
So at this point in time, he's running away from you. He has not threatened you,
No,
hasn't pulled out a gun,
no, ma'am.
hasn't pulled out a knife,
He did not.
still arms at his sides,
He did
That's
not.
correct.
and he's trying to get away from you.
And I was letting him run away. Yes, ma'am.
You were letting him run away.
That's correct.
But you were letting them run away into the people that are also chasing them, bro.
At this point, you see Mr. Bryan pull out in his black GMC truck to try and run Mr. Arbery off the road.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
I saw after I put the shotgun back onto the seat when it was on the floorboard, and then watching Dad or talking to Dad or trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh, that's so sweet. He calls his crime mate dad. That's so cute. Good for them.
And I looked back down the road. I don't know Mr. Bryan. I didn't know where he lived. I didn't see him when I had the first encounter with Mr. Arbery. My assumption, I was assuming from what I saw that he came from Satilla. So the vehicle was at what I thought was the very end of the road. More than likely seeing the video the other day where the tree was closest to Burford. It was towards the end where it was almost on the road. I'm certain that's where I saw the encounter with them. And it didn't look like he was running them off the road. It actually looked like Mr. Arbery, I thought the vehicle was stopped, and it looked like Arbery went to the left side and then to the right and then went back to the left. It looked like he was engaging with that vehicle.
He was engaging with that vehicle. Now, I don't know about y'all, but okay, if someone is high emotion and they're in a car, I'm not going to engage with that vehicle. You know why? Oh, you understand why, right? You're not stupid.
So you're all the way down here. I'll do it on this one. All the way down here.
And they got a fat ass board. Oh, this is bad for your boy. For the gingerbread man. It's bad.
Around there, yes, ma'am.
And they're all the way down here by the time you look at them. Is that what you're saying?
By the time I noticed it, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Damn. So you really gotta lock it in, because when I tell you, when you go with one storyline, you cannot go back, because they will hang you for it.
And you want this jury to believe that you thought Mr. Arbery was the one engaging in this black vehicle, not that the black vehicle was trying to hit him or run him off the road.
I'm going to object to the form of the question you want this jury to believe. I think that's an improper form of the question. I think.
Okay, I do respect that objection. She needs to rephrase it, because she's kind of like, she's low-key just putting her opinion into the jury, and he's supposed to, it's all inference, right? We're supposed to all be objective and let the jury decide. So, but I mean, come on, we're all human. Like, that was a good one. She planted that seed. The objection makes no difference. You know what I mean?
You can ask him questions and he can answer, but to insinuate that he has some motive for the jury to believe is improper.
Cross-examination, good.
Thank you. So you want this jury to believe that
He
it's
didn't
Mr.
care.
Arbery who's the aggressor with the black truck. Not
Yo, judge was like, yo, you done? All right, continue.
that the black truck's the one trying to run him off the road to help you.
I didn't see the truck trying to run him off the road. What I saw from down there, what I saw was the vehicle looked to be at a stop, and Mr. Arbery was engaging the vehicle.
And then Mr. Arbery was able to get away from the black vehicle.
He ran past the vehicle.
He ran. He ran past the vehicle. He was not getting away.
And your dad wanted to go down there to see what was happening, right?
That's correct.
But you wanted to go around to cut him off.
No, ma'am. I wanted to get around and to see where he was at, not to cut him off. Not the way
You were driving so hard to slice him off. You weren't even trying to cut him off. You were like, "Duh." Bro, it's so obvious. Like, and the map really shows it. It's like two little exits. Like, yes, you were going to cut him off.
you're saying cut him off. No, I wanted to see where he was at, to be in that same area to let the police know where he was coming.
Look at that. Oh, the nervousness is like seeping off of him. Like, if I was on shrooms or something, I would literally see his energy just like, he is so nervous, bro. Like, it's insane. It's actually funny. Like, look at his face. He's looking up,
I
looking
have
down.
you take a look at page 24,
He doesn't know what to do.
middle of the page. I'm sorry, back up to page 23, please. Holmes, I was over here. Hey, stop, stop. Well, he's running up the road, and I seen him coming. Do you remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you came around Holmes, and you were a few houses down when you encountered Mr. Arbery and yelled at him once again, stop, stop. Is that right?
I think I had it wrong on here. Like I said, once I was bouncing back and forth, trying to explain everything that happened, that I misspoke on there.
Imagine having everything you had everything you had said in fine print just sitting there in your hands like the Bible, and they're asking you questions about this, and you cannot go back. This is here to stay. It must feel rough. Like he's got a nice thick booklet, and he's like, fuck, this is everything that's fucking me over. Fuck. Oh my God. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Don't know where I would say to stop. Where was it that I said stop? Came around, came down Holmes Drive. He was right there. I said, good, we probably will have a chance to stop him now. Black truck's right there. I was over here. Hey, stop. Well, he was running down the road. I seen him coming. So, yeah, that was at the end of Holmes, right on the other side of the dog leg.
All right, well, do you notice how it says, Investigator O'Hilly, right after that says, which way is he running? And you said he's coming up this way, and where are you at this time? I came around and turned off this road. I'm not really sure how far I was a few houses down. So you're a few houses down. He's asking you specifically, when did you say, hey, stop? I was a few houses down, correct?
Yeah, on here, that's correct.
Okay. And
But he's like, but, did you see his face? Like, but, look, this is a perfect pause. Look at him. He looks like he's terrified. Like, look at this facial expression, right? Wild. The jury really has, seeing this in real time must be crazy. Terrified.
you also got out of your truck at that time, a few houses down on Holmes Drive, correct?
On here is what I said, but I don't believe that's what happened. I believe I misspoke or had it wrong or had it mixed up to when I stopped at the end of Holmes.
All right. But you also wrote it down in your written statement.
So you said it
Take a
twice.
look at your written statement.
Oh
That's
man,
about two-thirds of the way down.
she's making them look bad. She's like, oh, but you said there too. So did you forget twice?
On page
2.
We got the pamphlet numbered, baby.
So I decided to continue down Burford towards Zellwood, then take on to Holmes to see if he would be there. Is that right? You see that line?
yes.
You see that
Okay.
line?
And then it said, then you wrote, I made it halfway down and seen the individual turn and run back the way he came, then turn back toward me when the black GMC Chevy turned onto the road.
That's correct.
Yeah, because you were caging him in. He has no other choice. He's gonna turn around and go for the younger, fatter one that he can probably out wrestle, and not the big truck that's driving toward him. He had no other choice. They literally boxed him in. Right, in the story.
That was at the end of Satilla.
Well, you said I got out of my truck and told him to stop, which he didn't. I got back into my truck and stopped just short of the stop sign on Holmes facing Satilla.
That is so specific. I stopped the truck, told him to stop and come here. He didn't listen, got back in the truck, kept on chasing him. That how many sentences was that? That was like 6 sentences or maybe more. How do you misspeak? Right? This is how much he said. How do you misspeak with that much bullshit? Because you're nervous? An event happened, then it just suddenly didn't?
So you had actually stopped, got out of your truck, told him to stop, which he didn't, then got back in your truck, then pulled down to Satilla and Holmes.
That, looking back after everything cooled off, where I stopped, and I don't recall if I got out or not. I think I had this mixed with when I finally pulled up. Both times where I said I stopped and got out, I was saying when I stopped and saw Mr. Arbery and the black truck coming at me. We were on Holmes, just short of where the shooting occurred. I probably yelled stop at him, but then once they passed me is when I pulled up a couple more feet and decided to stay where I was at. That's what I was speaking about here.
Wow. Yo, it's seeping off of him. The bullshit is like, it's stinking up the court. You see my boy in the back there? He's like, God damn, it smells like shit in here. Yeah, nah, it's really bad. And he knows it's looking really bad. So, Yeah, this is a really long cross-examination, and I'm gonna come back with a part 2 because this thing is crazy. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Stay inside in the good hours. Stay inside, stay safe, love your family, all that shit. Don't send your kids running in strange neighborhoods because clearly this is not the way. I'll see you later, y'all. Hold up real quick. I gotta shout you guys out for getting me up to 2K, right? 2K subscribers. I love you guys. Get me up to 3K. Make sure you tell your grandma, your auntie, your niece, your nephew, your cousin. Tell everybody, hit that subscribe button. Love you guys.